Hello, my name's Julia. Welcome to Young Artists Club. Today we are going to be raiding the recycling to make some art. We're going to be inspired by an artist who does just that, to create the most amazing and huge installations using materials that are really waste materials or materials that have to be reused. His name is Anatsui. From Ghana, but now lives in Nigeria and works in Nigeria. That's where he has his studios. His work is displayed all over the world. He's most famous for his huge installations using recycled materials, and these are just beautiful. They are kind of like drapes or tapestries or liquid paintings or chainmail. They look like they're made from cloth, basically, and the way that he folds them and drapes them and sort of crunches them make them look like they have this sort of fluidity of material, as in fabric, but they are made out of quite sturdy and stiff materials. So he uses things like bottle caps, foil from around the top of glass bottles, and he uses the bottoms and the tops of tins from evaporated milk. So it's all things that are potentially waste products, things that are not going to be used again. So that's why we're going to have a look at what we have in our potential waste, i.e. in our recycling, to see if we can create some art. Anatsui was quoted as saying that an artist is better off working with whatever their environment throws up. So I thought it would be really good if we tried to do that as well. So I don't know what's in your recycling. I can show you the kinds of things that I found in mine, and I had a go at making some wall hangings, which a lot of Anatsui's big pieces take the form of. Let me just show you the kinds of things that I use. So in my recycling, I was looking for things that I could cut easily and safely, and I was also looking for things that could potentially be flat, things that have maybe interesting patterns or colours, and you might want to choose things or just see what you've got. So for example, you might just have some pieces of cardboard, soy milk carton, and just snipped off the bottom, and then inside I realised that it's sort of metallic inside, so that was a really good thing to use, because Anatsui uses a lot of foil and metal and scrap metal in his work. So I don't know if you can see, but here I've used that's the inside of the soy milk carton, like this one, and it just reflects the light and gives quite a nice sheen and shine. Some foil here, just like kitchen foil, which I used for making some flapjacks. And I don't know if you can see on this one, but I've got some gold foil here. That came from some chocolate that we had. And the green foil here, I think there's only one piece of green foil here. That was from a stock cube. So it's really just using what you have. I also used some old magazines and newspapers and things, which I used on this one. But because they're quite floppy, I actually stuck those onto some card before I used them. But I was selecting things that I like the colours of, really, because as you can see, this one has sort of muted colours and browns and silvers and golds. That idea came because from a tissue box that had these sort of yellows and greys and sort of muted colours, which I quite liked. I thought, so everything else I chose, I thought, oh yeah, that would complement it quite well. Whereas this one here, I was inspired by using a beer box, and the beer box had these lovely colours of green and red and yellow. So have a look into your recycling and see what kinds of things you can find. Do is to gather some other things to start to create your art. So you're going to need a pencil so that you can make your shape. So here you can see I used circles and here rectangles. So you want a simple shape so you can draw on your recycling so that you can cut it out. You might need a permanent marker as well on something like plastic. So I had some plastic here. You might want to use a permanent pen, otherwise because the pencil won't show. Then use a cup, plastic cup or a bowl, so that you can draw around your recycling with a template. Or this rectangle, I use this envelope here, which is quite stiff card. You can see that's exactly that size. So I use that one, and then I could decide which bit of the material, which bit of the recycled material I wanted to draw around. So something to draw around. It can be a circle, it could be a rectangle, it could be a square. You're also going to need a pair of scissors. You might need some glue if you're going to be sticking foil on top of cardboard or plastic. That's a really good idea. And you're going to need some sticky tape because this is how we join our shapes together. Anatsui does not use sticky tape. He uses often copper wire, and he sews all the pieces together with stitches. And I thought of ways that we could do that, and it all got a bit tricky and a bit fiddly. So we're going to use some sticky tape, and as you can see, it works quite well. It won't last forever, but I think it's a really good compromise so that we can get some art up on the wall quite quickly. So once you have stuck all of your circles or rectangles or squares together on the back of them, you can turn them over and you can start to push them and crumple them so that they start to get this kind of fluid liquid shape. It's completely satisfying to do. If you do this up on the wall, you'll need something to fix the two top corners to start with. So if you have some white tack or glue tack, something like that, you just need to put a little bit, about that much, about a pea size in each corner, at the top corners anyway, and then you can start to so you don't want to lie it completely flat. You want to make use of the fact that it's sort of hinged, if that makes sense. So you've got all of these nice undulations and folds and crumples, and you can just fix that to the wall. They're very light, so they don't need to be held with anything more than some glue tack, but you can start to get this nice undulating form here which will catch the light. Fun and see if you can create some wall hangings. Please do send us photographs of the wall hangings you create, because we'd love to see them. I'd love to see how different everybody's looks, because of course I don't know what's in your recycling, so whatever's in your recycling, whatever you make use of, will determine what the colour scheme or the kind of wall hanging that you make will look like. So how brilliant if we could see and compare everybody's recycling in terms of what amazing wall hanging art they can make. So do have a go and share your work with us on Facebook. The details of that will come up at the end. See you next week. In the meantime, keep well, keep safe and keep creating. Bye for now.